How to disrupt an industry and how to build the future of health in our communities. I was listening to an entrepreneur that I really respect, an entrepreneur and an investor, and he said you really have to watch out for people who are obsessed with disruption and destruction and breaking things down. It's really easy to take a tricycle apart. It's really hard to put it back together if you're a child. It's really easy to pull systems down and to critique them. It's really hard to build new paradigms if you're an adult working to change the world. So when we talk about disruption, we're talking about simply creating a market alternative that is so compelling compared to the current options at hand that parents and kids choose it willingly and that it elevates their health to new heights. When we look at the current model in the mental health industry, we're looking at kind of intellectual architecture from the early 20th century. We're looking at a framework for looking at the mind and body that was designed at a time when conformity was the value proposition economically. If you could fit in well on the assembly line, if you could fit in well in a military style setting, if you can fit in well in any environment where sameness is the virtue and the value proposition, well, then at least you go through the educational system and you end up with some assurance that you can maybe get a house and a white picket fence and go on a vacation here and there, but at least that you're going to have economic relevance. And that story has flipped dramatically in the 21st century. We no longer live in an age where conformity and being identical to the person next to you and following directions and memorizing information as opposed to critically thinking and creating ideas is a value proposition. It simply isn't. So you're walking into the next era of a youth mental health crisis in the sense that you're going to have a generation of kids who feel economically displaced, who don't have any idea how to build careers of worth or relevance, and who, by and large, more and more, believe themselves to have a number of disorders for responding exactly as the body is designed in a rapidly changing world. And on top of that, you're going to see more and more kids suffering with amphetamine addiction and benzodiazepine addiction because we're giving a generation medication instead of 21st century education. So that's the current paradigm. That's the snapshot. So how do we disrupt that? Well, it certainly isn't by pointing fingers at it. It certainly isn't by through anger or through vitriol. It's once again by creating better market alternatives that simply empower kids and families to reach the height of their health potential. At Physiology First, we are building the most comprehensive health assessment, health education, and health optimization system on the planet. We teach kids and families about the power of the mind and body and brain through the latest science in human potential. We cultivate deep experiences where people can feel the power of their body in the heat of the sauna, in the cold of the ice bath, during breath holds, during weightlifting and strength development sessions, during high-level sprinting and running and hiking and movement. We give them the portal to unlock the power of their own physiology. And again, we do that through cultivating experiences that are really cool, really fun, and really easy to return to. And then finally, we're leveraging the latest health technology to offer unparalleled assessments into the physiological system. We're assessing VO2 max, we're assessing resting metabolic rate, we're assessing genes to have a better understanding of the value of genetics-based healthcare, because genetics are the science of individuality. And when we compare these two models, the model that prioritizes conformity, looks at every kid as they're the same and drugs them if they're not, and we look at a model that actually highlights the individual genius of each child and creates a roadmap to express that genius through a number of lifestyle interventions and behaviors and environmental changes, what you have is the future on one hand and the past on another. And we are working to bring the future of health to communities around the globe. So when we say that we're here to disrupt systems, we simply want to make them so completely and utterly obsolete by creating something better that kids and families choose the program, they choose the pathway that respects their individuality, their physiology, and their independent genius. So we invite you into a movement of playful and thoughtful disruption, of passionate disruption, of reinvention, of revolution. And we invite you into a new paradigm where you align with health entrepreneurs who are ready to get out of the sandbox and into the world of industry to change the health industry forever and to create a new paradigm that is proactive, empowering, engaging, and passionately fun to be a part of. Because at the end of the day, if young people and families don't choose you, if they're not coming to spend time with you so that you can help to elevate their health, it's simply because you haven't created something cool enough yet to make that value proposition irresistible. And you will know that the work works when kids and families show up every day and want to learn, train, breathe, play, and explore the power of their body. So Physiology First is building the global team that is building that paradigm and that is building a revolution in evolution together. We invite you to join and rock and roll with us as we create the evolution of health in spring 2025 and far beyond.